See, this is what I mean, guys. Totally worth staying up all night for. This dude over here is like getting it. Like, what are you guys doing? What's up, YouTube? So, this morning, I am feeling just a little bit annoyed. So I felt like this morning was a good time to talk about a few things that I kind of hate as a motorcyclist. I'm not really sure if I'm going to name 5 things, but we're going to go from the least annoying to the most annoying things as a rider. And I'm going to say at the least annoying is freaking stoplights. Now this is really only a valid thing during the daytime, because at night, I don't know if this is a thing, I don't know if it's just in my head, but flashing my brights at a stoplight at nighttime usually will make it change. Usually. And if I'm turning right, then stoplights don't really matter all that much anyways. However, on a street like this on Virginia Beach Boulevard, these lights usually tend to stay green, and if you're at one of these intersections going this way on a bike at night and you're coming straight across, that's when it gets really annoying, because you will sit there for the longest time waiting for it to change, and you'll miss the light over and over and over again and end up having to turn and go out of your way to make a U-turn to get where you're going. And that can be kind of a nuisance if you're in a hurry. There have been a couple of times where I've gotten off my bike and run over and pushed the little like cross the road button, and that's kind of helpful, but it's still kind of annoying to have to do that. It's just that I guess your bike isn't heavy enough to like trip the sensor or something like that. I don't know. Gonna get some gas at Raceway today because it is mad cheap over here. Jeez, that bump was ridiculous. Oh god, you should have fucking pulled up there then. Now that bump back there was kind of like a perfect example of the next thing that I want to talk about, which is something that's gotten a lot better in Virginia Beach, especially over the past year. I mean, I've noticed a major difference, but bad roads would be something that I would consider to be an extreme annoyance on a motorcycle. I mean, potholes, gravel, fucking bumps. Man, you feel everything. I mean, hitting a bump, and like an unexpected bump that you can't like just swerve out of the way for, is like getting nut checked by your motorcycle. It is not a good time. But over the past year, like I've said, I've seen the roads here get consistently better. I mean, the boulevard, like I'm on right now, back the other way towards Norfolk is pretty bad. And 264 is like our main highway here, and it used to be terrible to ride on. But since they've basically paved the whole thing brand new, so it's pretty awesome. Alright, now the next couple of things that I want to mention involve other drivers. Now one thing that happens to me a little bit more than anything is I get cut off all the time. An unbelievable amount. Yeah, that light wasn't red, buddy. Perfect example of what I'm talking about. Some of the drivers here just don't pay any attention. And if you ride a motorcycle, you're practically invisible on the road. Even if your motorcycle's loud, you're invisible. I think one of the worst instances and like the scariest parts of that happening is kind of like when you're rolling up to a stoplight, and in this lane there would be a big line of traffic and you're kind of rolling up next to it, because you never know if someone is just gonna whip out at any point in time. So usually I'll ride in the center of the lane because I don't want to encourage lane sharing or anything like that. But if I'm doing that, I'll come over like all the way to this right side just to make sure like if somebody comes in, I have room to swerve if need be. Go ahead, Mr. Truck. Now the last thing I kind of want to mention in terms of other drivers, and the most annoying thing that I deal with all the time, is people that talk on their freaking cell phones. Now, I am all for hands-free communication, man. If your car has like Bluetooth and you can just like talk, then that's completely fine. That's almost exactly like what I'm doing right now. You still have full ability to pay attention, But man, that is just not the case with 99% of the drivers around here that talk on their phones. And it's a big part of the reason why the last thing I mentioned, getting cut off, happens so much, is because people are talking on their cell phones, one hand up here, one hand right here, and their head's moving around all over the freaking place, and they're not paying any attention to anyone else on the road. Causes a lot of unnecessary accidents. I would say that my road rage has gotten about 100,000 times worse since I started riding. I mean, I'm no snowcat, but still. Alright guys, I'm almost to work. Gotta go in and work that early shift. Hope you guys like this video. If you do, hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time. See you later.